All right, there we go. Welcome to a whole new LangTime experience.
And I was just going to ask if you remembered to switch it to mono instead of stereo, or
Oh,
if
I
that was
didn't.
already.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so that's done. Okay.
Yep. Um, oh my gosh. Was I on stream when I was talking about that song? Remember, right about
No, I
now.
remember.
You remember because no, we were
We were
watching.
watching a movie
We were
or
watching it on TV, and it put the
subtitles.
subtitles on. I had thought throughout my entire life that the lyrics to that song were something like "Right about now, the funk's so rubber," and I just thought
And
that
he means he thought that until like last week or whenever we
yes,
saw this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just I thought that the first time I heard it, and every single time I'd heard it since. And I just thought it was kind of like a just an expression. The funk's so rubber, and I was like, yeah, all right, cool. The funk's so rubber. Um, oh, Matei says I also used to think that until I looked it up once. How about that? Thank you. It really does sound like he says
Okay,
that.
so I'll stop teasing David so hard about it because I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Anyway,
Goodness.
we have some news for you. First of all, you should notice, hopefully, that Jesse and I look roughly the same. I don't know. I feel like I'm not in the middle. But anyway, we found a way to get Jesse's computer camera on the stream as opposed to that external camera.
Yes.
Which means that, at least in terms of video quality, she should look exactly the same, aside from the fact that we're on kind of like opposite sides of a light source because we're sitting on opposite sides of the table. And it really is kind of a wonderful, simple, exquisite thing. So I wanted to share it. There's a website called vdo.ninja,
Yes.
Ninja. And basically, it is fantastic. It is just a simple little workaround to general OBS problems. Like, you don't need an account. It's completely free. I have no idea how it works. Maybe I shouldn't be advertising it because the more popular it gets, maybe the less they'll be able to handle and the more likely it'll become paid. But yeah, you can basically share anything from one computer to another. You just click what you want to share, and then you send the person who needs it the link. That would be me in my case, since I'm hosting this. And you can just share anything, including video. And so, hurrah! So that's the one thing.
And it is really built with OBS in mind. And so I don't know how functional it would be outside of that.
Yeah. Oh, good Marvin. That looks like Dutch to me. Oh, look at that.
I believe
And
that,
Mateus using the Italian. How delightful.
indeed, that's what I was just going to say. I believe the Dutch was in response to the Italian.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the A part of the equation. The B part is that Jesse and I have an entirely new audio setup. We have bought ourselves brand new microphones. Each of us have one. They look like this. They're at least a version of a shotgun mic, anyway. And we bought ourselves microphones, microphone stands, microphone cords, and a little mixer. That means that we are now speaking, each of us, into our own microphone.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, yay. We finally, 5 years later, have a much better setup.
Yep. And hello to George. Let's get that streaming business out of the way. Don't forget about Tongues and Runes every Saturday at 6 a.m. Pacific. And Let's Have a Booba every Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific. And then Madeline and Jake are streaming every Monday at 12 Pacific. And I don't remember what it's called. They're working on the languages of Pillow World. Pillar World, not Pillow
Pillar.
World. And but what's it actually called? If Jake is here, I don't know if I've seen Jake. Does anybody know what the stream itself is actually called?
In my head, it's Pillar World.
Like the languages of Pillar World?
It is. Languages of Pillar World. And there's Jake.
Oh, there we go. Languages of Pillar World. There we go. And pillar is just a folksy way of saying pillow.
For
Get them pillars on the bed.
much longer than I may want to admit, thought it was a pillow world.
Yeah. Anyway, as they say, Pacific time is the new UTC. So honestly, it makes more sense. Like Greenwich is kind of like in the middle of nothing, right? At least the Pacific coast is like on the edge of something, you know. The only thing that would make more sense is Hawaii time.
Which is in the middle of nothing, like
Yeah,
Greenwich
but
is.
it's like right on the edge of the international date line. That's why. Ah,
Well, I think the actual edge of the international date line would make the most sense, to be honest. Starting at a new day, time zero, is when the first time zone of the world is at time zero, even if there's no land there.
yeah.
That to me would make the most sense.
By the
But
way, did you ever hear about internet time?
no.
This was an idea early 2000s, I think. I don't think it was in the 90s, early 2000s. A guy came up with an idea to just get rid of time zones entirely. And also clocks the way they work. And internet time was just like if you set it at a time, it's that time for everybody because the time is always the same. And I think the time intervals were between like 0.000 and 0.365.
That makes sense.
Or no, wait, 0.360. Right, because it was a circle, I think, not 0.365. That's a year. I think it was 0.360. Somebody in the comments will undoubtedly have heard of internet time and will be able to bring us up to speed. Yeah, he even made watches that worked with this. And so, like, you would just tell all of your, international employees, meeting is at 0.120, and they would know exactly what time that was.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then, of course, you'd have to deal with different arguments, which is like 0.120 is really late for me, 0.120 is really early for me, but, I guess you have to have those arguments.
You have to have those arguments anyway.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the arguments can be mitigated by the fact that if I'm coordinating a meeting and I know where you live in the world, I can, Google the time zone and understand our relative timing issues and therefore suggest times that would work best. Whereas if I know we're all just in the same time zone, I don't know what will work best for you. So I would still have to do conversions of some rate, which means the headaches are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, with all of our boobas out of the way, though, I think we should also mention again SpecCon in Dublin, June 6th. Tickets are on sale. You can get them and see Jesse and I in person. No, you can see Jesse and me, or me and Jesse in person. Presenting something, which, by the way, I have ideas about. This is going to be hard because we're presenting together. And we have diametrically opposed views on world building. I mean, that's one of the things that we're famous for, yeah.
Diametrically?
Yeah, that's why.
Opposed?
Yeah, that's why people tune in to see us bicker back and forth. We're like the James Carville and wife version of world building.
Wow. You shouldn't start that kind of comparison unless you can finish it specifically.
Are they still married?
Listen, I wasn't the one that started the comparison, and I'm not going to say that I know the details. I just know I wouldn't start it if I were like James Carville and wife. I would have chosen a duo that I could actually name.
Oh, man. He just went on to become more famous, even though he was monstrously unattractive.
Oh, well, he was the raging Cajun.
That's true.
Like, that was his identity.
Yeah.
Although I will admit my first introduction to him was in Old School. I actually had no idea who he was. I had to look him up.
Oh, yeah. And he was already famous by that point.
Oh, for sure, which is why he was a guest cameo in that movie. I didn't know him.
I often wondered, was that part of the inspiration for the movie? Remember the one you showed me? Is it He Said, She Said? Or is it, no, what's the one?
Speechless?
Speechless.
Oh, because they were both on different sides of the political divide, yet equally involved in politics?
Yeah. but
I
also
have no
married. You know,
idea. I don't know.
I can't remember if they were like as widely known at that time, because that was what, early '90s. Speechless.
I think 93.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so Jake said, we are Jesse Peterson and husband, which I think David would be absolutely fine with, to be honest. But yeah, nobody outside of 5 people would know who we were if that were the case.
It's shifting. I don't know if you've noticed.
I still, which I'm totally okay with, by the way. I'm totally okay that David's the front piece and I get to go hide in the shadows and hide away.
Yeah. It's often when I hear people say, like, oh, I really don't need the spotlight, what I hear is, I'm being modest because that's what's polite in society. It's been a real eye-opener that there are actually people that don't want the spotlight. That's weird to me.
Yeah. And what spotlight I do get, it needs to be a controlled, like, I know I'm here for this purpose. I'm going to fulfill this purpose. Let me get out of the spotlight now. Thank you. It is not your love of the spotlight of, I can stay here forever and a day and never leave.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's very different. Not at all being modest, just being extremely introverted.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So, what are we doing?
Oh, Jake, that's exciting. Jake says that they see my book all over the world building world. That's very exciting. How to create a language, Conlang guide.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah. There we go.
Go get it. Let's keep its numbers up on Amazon. I'm really bad at pumping my own work.
Yeah. It's hard because, like, in order for any book to become really, like, noteworthy and big, it's got to do well on Amazon. But due to the nature of Amazon, you don't want to promote it. Like, you don't want to say, hey, go buy this on Amazon.
So in other words, go to Cambridge University Press.
Which then, if people do, like, it doesn't get as many numbers on Amazon, and it's a whole thing.
It is a very unfortunate, dangerous cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, Mateus has used my book a few times. Yay. Oh, this all makes me so very happy.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Just an aside, it would be fun to go through and do a grab of all of anime fans' greetings over the years. Because...
Oh, yeah, because they're...
I don't know if they're different every single time, but...
I feel like we've seen this one before. I may be wrong, but I feel like we have. It's good stuff, though, Anime Fan.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my book has earned a spot alongside Tinguish's copy of the World Lexicon, the WOLOG.
I think
World Lexicon of Grammaticalization.
I think it's vlog.
I call it WOLOG.
Vlog.
WOLOG, just like I call it Tapakla.
Wolo.
Wolo, indeed. I was in the middle of taking a drink coffee, couldn't respond. Aaron won't be here long, so let's get to work, David, because we want Aaron to get some maximum conlang time.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be excited when I pull up the poll, because actually maybe they've been able to see it when I do that, because we got some actual bats in our poll.
Yay! As a side note,
Yes.
Anime Fan has said actually they use the same grading every time.
Not true.
So, well, I trust Anime Fan's knowledge of their own grading over my memory of whether the vowels have been switched or whether a consonant is slightly different. And so I'm going to trust and say, yeah, you know what you're talking about. And I'm even saying this over David.
What I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Jonathan says, yes, true. Then immediately follows up with, at least for quite a while. So in other words, no. Oh, you're
Anyway.
telling me I don't remember right.
Anyway.
Okay.
And thank you to all for anyone who has my book and is using it, and for any spreading of the love for the book, because it really was a very long time coming, and a huge passion project. And I am finally recovered from the process to the point where I'm actually writing again. So hopefully there will be more.
Yeah. Now, on to the question of the week. Basically, if Magpie is going to be disappointed. Magpie said that they meant to recheck the poll shortly before it closed, to potentially change my vote to make sure base 9 was not ahead. Let's see what happens, because this week is the number poll, because we didn't have any other ideas. So we've got this little batsy. This is the type of bat we are working with. It is the most common bat found in Canada. It is the small brown bat. A very, very cute bat. And so there it is. Anyways, we were coming up with a number poll, and to do so, we came up with a number of different ways to come up with a number system for specifically. So the first one was base 5. And my thinking here was essentially we're sticking with the bat wings being kind of like hands, which is, what they are physiologically. So in other words, we weren't going to say like somehow the bats like grew new arms and their wings were just separate. That wouldn't, it wouldn't.
It's horrifying to think about, because their arm is really that top bone connecting the wing. And so to think of this horrifying existence where their wings and that top bone structure start separating, no.
Yeah. If you want to see, if you don't think about it too much, it's fine. There's a bat character in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called Wingnut. And he very much just looks like a human being with like legs and arms, and then has bat wings and then a bat face. And it's like, if you don't think too much about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's it. It's only when you start to think about it, it's like, wait a minute, something had to have happened here. Anyway, so this option was basically the bat takes their one handy wing and uses it as a counter and starts counting on the other wing using the individual points, including, and the last one being the little tippy of the tail, or it's not really a tail, but you know what it is, right? So they just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, base 5. So that was option A. Option B was they keep going just with the foot. Basically, they keep counting till the point where they would be forced to stop, because you can't count on your own wing. And so I thought both base 5 and base 6 were strong options. Base 9 is assuming that they actually just go ahead and switch. Whether they switch at 5 or switch at 6.
Same way with the thought that we would switch for 10.
We
you
do
do
the
one
same
hand
thing.
then the other hand. Sure.
Yeah, and so basically you just keep going, and that gets you to 9. Base 10 was entirely different. And that was just saying, instead of counting those little tips, they seem to have 10 toes on their little bat feet. And you could think about it, especially while hanging. They just use their little wings to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Or they could even like just wiggle their little toes as they count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and so that gets you to base 10. All right.
It also gets you to a base 5. That's a second way of getting to base 5. So,
True.
It's just 1 foot.
Yeah, I just figured if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Anyway, so that was it. Almost everything got votes. Believe it or not, base 6 got none.
Am I remembering correctly that we've done a base 6, or is that just me who did a base 6?
No, we may have.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody remembers, but I know, I want to say it was the mice?
Actually, wasn't it the dogs that had a base 6 and base 11 that got smashed together?
They had 3 bases, but Bubba is saying it was the opossums
Oh, okay.
that had base 6.
Okay.
Not turtle.
Nice.
Okay, so anyway, base 6 got no votes. And so this came down to base 5, base 9, or base 10. Recall that Magpie was mentioning that they hoped that they got in there just in case base 9 was ahead. to
because
make
they didn't
sure
want
that it
base
didn't
9 to
win.
win.
So I'm going to assume that Magpie voted for base 5. And the winner, by a very narrow margin, apologies, Magpie, is base 9.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I think
It's
this
fine,
is
yeah.
one of the times where a base that is otherwise such an awkward base to go by actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And so if you're gonna do it here. Yeah. I also, you know what, writing that section on bases and how to think about them in the book, like really made me feel a little more comfortable with doing conversions. Like I figured out a way to get my own head wrapped around it, which
Yeah.
was key because if you watched me closely in the first 4 seasons,
Which I think I did.
I was not a fan of our non-base 10 counting
Yeah.
systems. And I still am going to lean towards base 10 if I have no reason to do something else in my own languages. But I have actually explored, and I have done 2 other bases in my languages since
Yeah. I think it would have
that. So, yeah.
I think it would have been fun, perhaps in both Dothraki and Valyrian, but at least in Dothraki to do some base other than 10. But even though, like, I'm sure, like, you know, as George R. R. Martin was thinking about this, I'm sure, like, it wasn't even a question. It was just base 10. But Dothraki specifically, I did base 10 because I envisioned Dothraki becoming very popular and people wanting to speak it and use it, and I thought it would just be too difficult to do anything other than base 10.
Which is a fair
Yeah.
potential point. You could have
It was wrong.
You could have expanded it into a base 10 system by sort of like making up filler numbers to go in between the concept of 10 and, you know, wherever it ended.
8, 9, 10.
Listen, Finnish is like 2 less than 10 for 8, and it works. Like you could absolutely
Yeah.
do that. And I do want to make it clear, if I had been voting myself, I would have voted for base 10, if for no other reason than the thought of these bats wiggling their little toes while, you know, just
Yeah.
hanging around is like so adorable. And so I would have gone base 10 for that alone. I'm just saying I'm not mad at a base 9 in a situation where we actually have a physical reason for it. And, you know, in a community that is known for voting for wacky bases, which is how we ended up with base 30 in the rabbit language, something that will never happen again.
Yeah. Anyway, so, you know, there it is. And so now we can get back to the real conlanging and set this number stuff behind for good. Sorry, Bubba. We
Actually,
we love you.
can you go to the document real quick? Let's actually note that the counting system is base 9, so
we
that
don't
way
forget.
we don't have a second vote on what our base should be. Ay, ay, ay.
Okay. All we got to do is just get rid of this row. And then we'll remember. We'll look at this and be like, huh, why is it only 1 through 9 here? And then that will be the reason. Did I shave today? I did shave today. God,
Do you need to replace the razor?
probably. It's just, you know, I've been shaving for years now, and every single time I shave, it feels like I haven't shaved. And then by the time, I mean, the notion of the 5 o'clock shadow, I just,
For you, it's like a 3 o'clock shadow.
yeah,
And 3 o'clock only because you shower and shave at like 1 o'clock.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so I do want to raise another issue which came up while I was preparing the document last time. So I went ahead and quickly wrote up the quickly wrote up the romanization because that was very straightforward, the way that all romanization should be. But there was one issue.
Is that a dig at my romanization I sent to you this morning where I was like, I have to figure out what to do with all these vowels. Here's what I'm doing.
I can semi-understand it if you must indicate stress.
And for my brain, I must, so I know whether this is a root from the get-go or whether it's got a lot of prefixes that I need to parse out.
Anyway, but I wanted to bring up the issue of tone because as a reminder, we have had a tone language in the LangTime universe, Woke with Thiju, and its name is going to be good enough to illustrate what we did with tone. So Woku Thiju has 6 vowels. One of them is U, and we indicate
Capital One just was like, did you make this purchase? And I'm like, what purchase? So one moment while I look at the notification, go on.
Anyway, U is spelled with a U with 2 dots, with a diaresis. And so as we were looking at things, right, we're like, well, if we indicate high tone with an acute accent mark, then we can use the double acute for U to indicate a high tone. What about low tone? Well, if we use a grave accent for low tone, there actually is no easily composable, typable, double grave accent. It's not like it doesn't exist at all, but it's it's not the type of thing that's readily available. The double acute accent is readily available because it's used to distinguish length in Hungarian. And the double acute for O is also available for the same reason. Double acute for anything else, not possible. Not possible. Anyway, and so we made the decision for high and low tone to use an acute accent to mark high tone and nothing to mark low tone. In a language with only high and low tone, that's not too bad. And so basically, if you don't see anything on a vowel in Wokutiju, it's low tone. If you do see an acute, then it's high tone. And that works very, very well. Was it a suspicious purchase?
No, it was something. It was just, I guess, for them an unexpected purchase, and they marked it, and I had to say, yes, this was me. Don't block it. And so, I mean, all good.
Yep. Anyway, so that's that. But then when I got to writing up the romanization, somewhere you have to write what the tone is going to be. And that was when I realized we had just by default started using acute for high, grave for low, and circumflex for falling, which is a combination of high and low. Incidentally, if Karis is here, I share your... So I'm pretty sure it was Karis who said this. I share your... I don't know if it's like a frustration or your initial reaction, because when I was studying linguistics, and I started seeing that these accent marks being used for tone, if you see a circumflex accent, there's a certain type of person, including myself, who thinks it's pointing up, so it's rising tone. But in fact, the circumflex is falling tone, and the hachek is rising, not falling, even though it looks like it's pointing down. And that, of course, is because it's not where the point is pointing. It is just the combination of an acute and grave, either this way or this way. And that's why they're associated with that. So I get that. I don't think it's too bad to learn that actually these are just combinations of things, because it's actually part of the theory itself about for many languages, obviously not like the contratone languages, but for many languages, you get these contours because they are combinations of tones. And so it just makes perfect sense. Anyway, but that left us with a situation where if we want to be more in step with what is done in the other LangTime languages, we have two actual options. So I just want to write them up. So option A is mark everything, and this is what we have been doing. And so we need some sample words somewhere. And I know that we got them. Oh, I got to go up. Oh, wait. Hang on. Yeah. So, okay, good. So, ira. Okay, so we got ira. And now we just need something that would have a circumflex accent. It's got to be a falling tone on one vowel. Do we have a already existing word that has that?
Wherever you were typing, it wasn't on the screen for me.
It's going to be up near the romanization section, right below it. Can you find a word? I would like to get a real word, just so, like, you know.
Sorry, what pattern? I was
Oh, I got it. Okay, the word for
so sorry.
one. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so and then can you look up ira? Is that flying squirrel or flightless squirrel? I think it's flying squirrel.
Are you talking about the CIIRA?
Yes.
That is flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel. And then this is the glideless squirrel. Okay. I'm actually going to make this bigger just so everybody can see what's at issue here. Okay, so this is option A. Option B, why has it done this?
Done
whatever.
what?
Mark high. So this is the Woku Fiji option. And then this, yeah, I guess would be that, or there, or maybe that, which would be, I don't know, a little weird. Yeah.
Oh, because it's low tone if it's unmarked.
Yeah.
And so the only thing to mark on a falling tone is the actual fallingness.
Yeah. And you can kind of think of this, sorry, I can't edit this anymore, but this is like B1 and B2.
We do not have rising tone, right? Only
No.
falling tone.
No.
Okay. It's like that would be problematic.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are really the three options, I guess. And again, we defaulted to this one. We defaulted to that. When we were just typing up words, we just did that by just naturally. So yeah, I didn't know what. Okay, yeah. Well, Nemo, I presume you're talking about B1 versus B2. And yeah, we do have to distinguish length. Absolutely. Um, I'm actually gonna do this. Just so that we can actually see what people think. Call it C. This is just a purely take a look at it and tell us what you think. Bearing in mind what Wokuthiju does. Call this archive plus circumflex, archive plus graph. How do you think tone should be marked? Just going to do A, B, and C. I just would love to see what people think. And it's part of it is like the logic of what we've done so far suggests we should do either B or C. But the question is like, does that work? Does it make sense? Do you read this easily? It's also easier to type because, of course, if
you're not marking almost half or a third of the vowels anyway.
Yeah, at the very least. And so the other way, like you're having to use some sort of key combination for everything, every single vowel.
Having that moment where I'm really sad that my coffee is done.
Can you do another?
No, that was my third.
I thought you usually did 4.
No, 3. I make 4 because 1 is for you.
Oh, what is, how many shots of espresso are in each one?
2.
2.
So I'm good and maxed on caffeine. I just want more coffee. So we need something to celebrate real soon because I want my Kopiko.
We can do one of these.
I'm going to wait for the Kopiko.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate. Maybe we can celebrate figuring this out, this romanization issue.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and stop the vote right now because I find this really interesting. If we separated these into like A, B1, and B2, B1 by a landslide. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of these two, the circumflex was preferred.
Yeah, sorry, I was staring at the chat screen. In terms of going either between B or C, if the acute accent marks a solid high tone, it doesn't make sense to my brain to use the grave to mark a moving tone, because when I see that, I would think, oh, there's 3 tones in this language. You've got high, mid, and low, and mid is unmarked. That's just how I look at it. Also, that's how we've done languages in the past. And so, it's, there's a lot going into that. But, looking at the logic of it, if we're going to have this marks go high, this should not be marking fall.
Yeah.
It should be just marking low. And so, A and B were the only 2 options that really made sense for me moving forward. Mm-hmm. My issue, the reason that I liked A better came down to those diphthong breakdowns or long vowels. Because it created that same shape as the circumflex that gives us on a single vowel the falling tone.
Yeah.
And that to me was so, God, I almost said poetic, but that was not the word I wanted to use. But it was just
I'm going to throw in another one.
It made it just so consistent overall in terms of seeing this motion representing the falling tone. It just really worked for me. Having just a blank vowel at the end, it almost makes me think, did I forget to mark tone?
Yeah, so I'm going to just throw in another theoretical word here.
I love it.
And admittedly, if you look at a word like this, it's kind of hard. I mean, we'll get used to it.
I mean, yeah, we will get used to it. It'll be just a fact of life. But that was why I personally wanted to mark them all. And when David brought it up to me, I think my opinion was so strong, I didn't even pose it as a people should vote on this. I was like, no, we should mark them all.
Yeah.
We didn't need to in Mokutishu because this wasn't an issue. We didn't need another one.
Yeah. There's no,
We also didn't want to because while there's the double acute that we could more easily
Yeah.
do, the double lower is not something that you can
there's
as
been
easily
much
get.
discussion about that.
Yeah. And so because of that, like we just needed that U umlaut to be reserved for like its
Yeah.
it's low tone. This language is not going to pose those same issues. But yeah, so for me, I'm still A. Like I am still A through and through. If we end up doing B, I'll get over myself. But like, I think a part of me will always be like, why didn't we do A? And I know typing, it does get annoying doing the accent marks all the time, but I guess I'm kind of more used to it now. I don't know. Plus, I do so many weird characters that I'm so used to having to do a combo of keystrokes that it's just like, this is just how it is.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just going to mention two things about Grave accents. One, I think it's very strange that in Hausa they only mark the low tone, not the high tone. That's A. B. It makes no sense to me that Italian uses a grave accent to say it's stressed. Basically, it's only when it's the last vowel that's stressed do they use the grave accent. Doesn't make any sense at all. How dare they? I actually don't know. Do they mark? Is tone properly marked when just people write using the Roman alphabet in Hausa? Or is that only in instructional texts? Tone and vowel length are not marked in writing. So that was just something in instructional text. So never mind. Never mind. Very good. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. From the principle of least effort and matching Mokuthiju, I'm kind of in favor of B, but in terms of making Jesse happy, I'm in favor of A. It's really tough.
I will get over this. You know, it's not a hill that I am like so staunchly a part of. I can't manage climbing a different hill. It's just, you know, it's really, it also helps my brain see the circumflex as a, you know, falling tone 'cause you start high, you go low. You know, I think it helps my own way of thinking, but that doesn't mean that it is the only way of thinking.
Yeah.
I also momentarily got lost in my side thought of realizing that the system, the romanization system I had sent to you earlier, crucially marks when there's a preposition attached, which is sort of a separate issue from case marking. But it uses a grave accent. And at some point, I may have an umlauted character with a grave, and that does not make sense anymore. So now I'm going to have to take those away, despite the fact that they help my brain identify what pieces I'm supposed to be looking at.
I think.
Yikes.
All right, B is the way to go. But I do want to acknowledge Miles saying, I don't care how small that trauma is, Jesse. I don't want you to have to accrue it.
Aw. Aw, thank you, Miles.
I'm also going to just real quick. I'm
going to go change my little document.
I'm going to quit that. I have a question to ask. Just viewers, when I do this, does Jesse's video freeze? Or do you still see us moving around like, like animals or something?
Oh, I should move?
Yeah, just
Sorry. No. So, no, I'm not frozen.
good. Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. All right, then. Well, then, Jesse, we have decided something.
Kopiko.
All right. I have an idea.
Yeah?
We keep this jar somewhere else. Ta-ta.
Yay.
And it's just, it looks nicer, a little bit less of a footprint. And check it out. These are all David Bowie albums. In their cassette tape forms, which is, of course, something that people, me and Jesse's age, are very familiar with. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Yay. Erin is having a Kopiko now, too. Yay.
Oh, excellent. Splendid.
Oh, mine is like
Another
wonky.
slogan from our era, Kopiko, the choice of a new generation. Okay. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh, I didn't notice that Jake and Miles changed their names from to Jake has a booba and Miles has a booba.
Oh, that happened a while ago.
That's good branding. You know?
I got to change mine to Jesse Ling sometime. Now, at some point, I'm going to get like Quothalinguist branding. That Q is going to be famous at some point.
Low tone with no accent. Okay, with long vowels. With long high tone vowels. Both characters take an acute accent mark. For a falling tone, a single tone bearing unit takes a circumflex accent. A long vowel, on the other hand, takes an acute accent followed.
Jake is wondering if Jesse Peterson's husband is available.
First vowel takes an acute accent. You'd have to ask my wife. She keeps my schedule.
As a username.
Okay. Oh, here's noodle. I sure do like that Kopiko candy. It's very tasty. All right. Good. Okay. Let's just I'm just very quickly going through here and where's tonification?
Tonification?
Oh, wherever the tone comes in.
Oh, you mean in the sound changes?
Yeah. It's got to be Tiny Genesis, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's good. There's nothing there.
11. Mm-mm. There's nothing after it either.
I remember this poll, but I don't remember how we resolved it.
Which one is that?
When a modifier follows a noun. Or was it a poll? Did we ever finish this thought?
I don't think so. Is your cursor at the place you're considering?
Page 15, 16. If anybody can help us remember if we finish this discussion. So I came up with these 3 theoretical forms. We have noun A and noun B. One ends in a vowel, one ends in a consonant. And then we have a modifier. And basically when it was going to be consonant, we had these potential forms to break things up.
I don't think we finished that discussion. I thought that was still a starting point.
So we never finished it. Did we just get on a tangent, which led us to tangent and so on?
It wasn't a tangent. It was trying to figure out if we would have prefixes or suffixes.
Right. Well, I think it's time to upgrade to serious.
And I think part of that was decided based on the suffixes that we have. But the other question was, how is it that we're going to, reify this system in other ways, so that way it's actually a noun class and not just
Right.
a feature.
I don't even know if I need to be doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Oh, right. By the way, just while I'm doing nothing over here, we had talked about how we were watching the series W1A. We were finished with it now. And how the name derived from the postal code for where the BBC is. And,
Oh, I don't think I fully realized that.
well, I can't remember if it came up in Discord or here, but we were wondering, like, is that something every British person would know? In other words, they'd hear W1A and they think, like, oh, that's where the BBC is. Because, like, even 90210, before that show, nobody knew what that was associated with. After the show, they did.
Well, yeah, but I imagine W1A could be the same.
That's
They would
that's
see
just
it.
why I was asking.
They would see it and think zip code, but they wouldn't necessarily think, I know where that is. Where, like, in America, you hear 90210, you think zip code, even if you have no idea what it's associated with.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. Huh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I would say, like, before the show 90210 happened, the most people would know would be, like, that's somewhere in California.
and I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And that would only be because it starts with a 9, so it's got to be there. Like, I don't know the zip code associated with, New York or Washington, D.C., but if it starts with a 0, I know it's over there somewhere,
That'd be DC, I think, because New York, I believe, is in the ones, as
Yeah?
is Philadelphia.
Oh, how about that?
But like 1 through 5 is all east of the Mississippi,
Really?
because Missouri is 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, like, in Colorado is 7. To tell you how few people live.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's kind of bizarre how those zip codes did not get evenly spread out.
Okay.
Okay, I have fixed what I feel was a glaring error in the earlier romanization that I sent you.
Oh, in Washanato?
Yeah.
Boy, that tells you how much I'm just wasting time over here.
No, you're doing good stuff. You're actually in the right language. I was like, oh, I have to fix this before I forget, because I had also taken the accent mark out of all of the file names because I'm like, I'm going to stick to this romanization, and then realized that I got to stick to it. I got to do it. I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. That's what I tell myself.
Okay, there we go. That. And now that. And now that.
Ooh, bye, Aaron. See you next week.
Oh, our Aaron?
Yeah, all right.
Dang. I'll have to take a test about dentists, I think.
Is New Jersey 2? Is Jonathan, did they get in the 2 zone? Because
no way. Really?
I thought that DC was the only place with a 0. And honestly, part of me, I think they did that because they needed something different from everywhere else, and 0 was really the only option. It's in 0? Jersey is in 0? Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to look up this. This is so wild to me. U.S. zip code map. I am.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Colorado is all 8. I thought there was some 7 in Colorado. I was wrong. 7 is all Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. So, I was probably mixing up my zip code that I remembered in Texas versus Colorado.
Since the language is confirmed, New Jersey is 0, surrounded by 1s, apparently.
Yeah, also 0 is New England.
Huh.
Fascinating. I really thought 0 was DC, and I was absolutely wrong because I don't even see a blue blip representing any sort of 0 in the DC area. So yeah, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, 1. All of New England, and New Jersey. Maybe it's because, no, wait, New York has a new. I was going to say maybe it's the new. They got a 0. But yeah, it's really funny then when you see the geographic area that is represented then by 5, 6, 7, and 8, 8 especially. And then, 9 is the entire West Coast plus Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh. Yeah, I guess what else would it be?
No going up from there.
We need a base 11 system.
It does match fairly well with population density. Except for I'm going to say except for like, you could definitely argue that maybe 3 and 4 should be grouped together into 1. 5 and 6 could be a little bit grouped together, and we could push part into another area, and we could give more room to the 9s. Like we could make it an 8-9 split by having California as the 9 and the rest as something else. Like you could see some areas being split better if at one point when zip codes were used, they understood how many people would live in certain areas.
And then 3.
Oh, and this map breaks it down even more specifically. Oh, anything outside of continental U.S. is a 001, apparently. So yes, Puerto Rico is in the 0s.
Okay. So I've done it. I've removed the grave accents from the document. Um, if we want to put on our little conlanging hats again,
Oh, you mean stop staring at zip codes and see how they broke these up?
mm-hmm.
I guess I'm ready.
We can get back to filling out this document. So what we were doing was coming up with nouns that end in the various endings that we can get for these classes, just to make sure that we've got them all. And yeah, next, I think that the next thing that we have to do, we have noun function. That's done. What we need to figure out is the modifiers and figure out where this agreement is going to show up and how it's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so
Right, Jonathan. I misspoke when I said continental U.S. because obviously Alaska and Hawaii are not continental U.S. and yet they both belong to the nines, not the 001 range. I meant not a state of the 50 states. That would be more valid. Okay. I'm ready.
DC
I'm
is
ready.
too. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we get all of the endings for the nouns, and I didn't want to preclude the idea of class membership that doesn't have one of these endings, because essentially we're positing an older system where there was one of these four words that were associated with most nouns that they would just, the flying, the ground, the big, the small, that they would just get used. And I want to allow for the possibility that we just have some protoforms that just come all the way through without getting one of these things. And it could be based on their original shape. So in other words, they already end with one of these things or something close to it, so they don't need one of those suffixes, or they're just so in there that they can end with whatever, but it just is known that they're this class.
And I will say we've already done this to a tiny degree because we did actually create words for night and day that were not otherwise going to be marked because they already end in roughly the same shape. And that's actually how the folk etymology of the noun classes is going to arise, that these are, night class versus day class nouns. And so the lack of marking is definitely something we're going to do. The question is, will it only be for those words that, like night and day, end in roughly the same shape as what you would expect them, or these unpredictable?
I think there should be more that are unpredictable.
I think so too.
Okay, good. Also, I just want to follow up on something clearly that I missed, Jake. Were people complaining about me crunching the Kopiko? And is this a general complaint, or did it pick up more today because of the new microphones?
No, Jonathan, Alaska has never been considered a continental state because you have to leave the U.S. to get to it. It's not because it's not connected via land. It's because it's not actually part of the landmass that is the continental U.S., which is why it is represented as offsets. And in fact, they and Alaska are quite proud of not being one of the continental U.S. states. It happened more today. It may be the better microphone. I didn't even see it. Were people?
I didn't either. That's why I asked.
Contiguous. Contiguous is a word that can be used.
I'm pretty sure continental is used the way that Jesse described, though.
I have definitely heard it that way from people who live there. Not to say that that is the prescribed way that it should be referred to. But, We all use big words slightly differently.
Okay. Let's I want to jump over and start showing Lexergy by the amazing Graham Hill, because I want to come up with as many potential words that have different shapes so we can populate that part of the document.
I will say I think lower 48 is the most common way I hear them refer to the other states.
Yep.
It's the lower 48. Yeah, oh, George just said the same. Yeah. Okay. I want to refresh my mind, David, now that I'm joining the conversation for real. So we know we're going to have a variety of nouns smashed together into these endings. Or smashed together into these classes, whether or not they have the, air quote, right endings.
I've got...
we're going to have modifier after, so we're going to be looking at meme is our modifier throughout. So I just need to get that stuck in my head as I look at these.
I guess, but we don't have to worry about that yet. We're
Oh, what are we worrying about first?
Page 10 at the top.
Ooh, I am on the wrong page.
Yeah, because I thought we should do this, which will be easier before we get to the more complicated questions. So at least we know what we're dealing with. I want to fill out all the night class endings, all the day class endings. And so...
all the predictable ones.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I just want to come up with some words. And as I recall, we went with the short endings. So in some cases, I'm going to have to change these. Like this is going to be he, and this is going to be na. Okay. So, yeah, let's throw out some root forms. So the first one we did was weak vowel long. Let's see what happens with a strong vowel. I don't even know how we got that length, by the way. But, I mean, these should be actual words, so not just forms. When we come up with forms, we should come up with actual words for at least one sense of these things.
In the example up above, we had back to page 10. We used the squirrel. We haven't used the cloud yet.
Do they have different endings?
Just a second, I'm seeing. All right. Yay, no. Amie. That one is different. Cloudy. Cloud.
Oh, that's an adjective.
That's an adjective. Okay. So now cloud has to be the ira. Okay.
Yeah, so if those aren't different, let's create new words.
Okay, so we need something that ends... well, something that belongs to what would have been a different suffix entirely. But then within that, we also need... a nasal and an R ending. Are those the only two things that trigger because like ra can be la?
Okay, well, throw out a root that ends in a nasal.
Remember what ridiculous sounds we have.
I think it's just M and N. I don't think...
we have an ingma.
We do have a proto-angma?
It's there in black.
So be it.
And so... okay, those... okay, so no green forms. All right. Tsun.
Is that a TS
Yeah.
adjective?
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously, David.
And that was an alveolar.
It was, yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is a weak vowel, nasal final. I don't remember. Yeah, I think those are the ones.
You have to use spaces for if you need the difference in glomination.
Oh, really?
So if you're not getting the right output, it may be because we need a space.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
I can't remember if we decided that was like an earlier or later thing that happened.
Okay, this is one thing I don't remember. Let me go to that table. That orange table. Okay. Okay, that's where the short forms come in. So it's actually not that. It is the short forms. So we never use ihi and unda. We never use those. Okay. Got it. Pretty sure. Okay, so then the words that we get, tsunla, tsunye, tsunye, and tsunungda. So we don't need to decide that all four of those are words. All four of them have endings that we don't have yet. Mm-hmm. We could just decide on one of them and say this is going to be our word for something. So which of those four do you like the most? Tsunla, tsunye, tsunye, tsunungda.
The last one?
Tsunungda, okay. Then...
I mean, that's just a delightful word to say.
All right. So this is going to be a night class word.
What was the older marker that of the four? Because within night class there's two. And I don't remember which two belong to it.
That's hold on. I always forget as well.
This is something we'll have to practice remembering.
Big.
All right, so big and flying?
Just big.
Oh, because this is a specific one of the four. So
Yeah,
big is...
big.
Okay.
So tsunungda, what's that say to us?
First of all, the root was tsun. Okay, so what does tsun feel like as a context for what a big tsun might be?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so one of my first thoughts, just for funsies, was a seed. And a big seed, it could be a variety of types of seeds, but it could also be a very specific, like acorn, which is a larger seed, or pine cone, which is potentially the largest, although that doesn't actually look like a seed at that point. It looks like a whole different thing.
No, I think you were right on the money there. I think acorn is probably a good one. All right. Done. Now, do we want to use the others? So tsunie or tsunie. Small is, so this is going to be small and day. And, oh boy.
The flying seed could be the maple seed because it, like it looks like it's gliding.
Oh, yeah. Small is nie, and then walking is ie. So small is ie, walking is ie. the RA form, we could actually use that. Okay, because that is a different form. Okay, what did you say it was? The flying seed,
The maple seed.
maple seed, and I think it's low tone. That is short. Maple seed.
And you're still showing Lexergy, which I think is fine because it shows the 4 options we're staring at. But if you were hoping to show what you were typing.
This is what we're actually doing right now. And I should probably, if they should be in some sort of order, so I guess I'm going to do alphabetical order.
Do we want alphabetical or do you want what's going to occur most?
I don't know if we can say that at this stage.
Well, I know the law is going to occur among the least, right? Because that's
Yes.
only going to be after nasals.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think that's the only time we see it. Or
No,
if it just
intervocalically.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, then why is flying squirrel? Is that because it was something else?
There's a handful of mischievous circumstances where it
Okay.
occurs.
Okay.
And we could say that just Tsunie's seed, if you like that.
Oh, I mean, it's a beautiful word, so yeah.
All right. And I am pretty sure it's high-low. No, it's just low-low. How fun. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay, so the regular EA is low, but then EA is a falling whenever we get the HIE ending.
I think so.
Okay.
But I will not say that for certain.
Okay. In this particular form, when you're looking at the Lexergy output for the HIE form, which is a click in this particular one, is it high-low?
No.
What is it?
So it's just low-low.
Low-low.
Tsunie.
And that came from the HIE, right?
Yes, it did.
Whoa. Okay. Now, is that a big enough difference that you would want to have that as a separate ending? Where HIE versus HIE.
Oh, yeah. Anytime there's any difference,
Okay.
we list it as a separate ending.
Okay.
So even tonal, yeah.
Okay. Woo!
All right. I don't know if we want to take the other one, which was a ground seed. Like, we don't have to fill all of them out.
No.
Okay. All right.
And yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, now we need something else.
I think we should have one ending in an R because I think the R triggers some changes in some of the suffixes,
Yeah.
but I may be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
And so we should have something ending in an R.
We'll need another nasal to get that. But yeah, okay. Something ending in an R. And incidentally, if people in chat just want to throw things out, throw them out.
All right. Mbar.
With the mba, okay?
Yeah, because that's the only B we have proto.
And that's a strong vowel.
Oh, Jake had suggested kar with an ejective. Kar.
That's also a strong vowel, so I don't think we're going to see anything different. But we need, multiple of these because we're not necessarily going to fill out every single one. So this one, okay, mbarra, that's not different. Mbarkie, that is mbarie, not different. Mbarngda, not different. Okay, so that we got to do this one. Mbarkie. Mbarkie.
All right. Oh, and let me go back to my orange chart cheat sheet. Prie means walk. So we're looking at ground or
Yeah.
something.
And this is slightly different because with the other one, it was just chie. This one is chie, which does still exist.
It should be the word for I was thinking it should be the word for like a roach, because I'm thinking of like a flying insect as the base root, like some sort of flying insect. We can pick a specific one, and then a roach is the walking one because it's like got wings and it can sometimes technically seem to fly. Like, you know, they've got those foldy things that sure do look like wings, but you don't tend to see them flying.
Yeah.
They've got. So anyway, I was thinking that.
Cockroach. Yeah.
I don't know what the base is, though. Like
Yeah.
some sort of large insect that you typically see flying.
Yeah. Incidentally, something that we haven't seen yet, because this is just all like, you know, there's a lot of stuff I want to do with the game, but like essentially there is this background element of the insects getting larger. And the way this is going to work, by the way, is the main mouse mechanic driver, you know, the one who's driving the Bruxer, right? He is essentially like, if it's kind of like World of Warcraft expansions where it's a persistent universe, but there is a timeline at the same time, which is incongruent to say the least. It's very difficult. So it's like things happen and they're done, but they're also constantly happening. What is the kind of like canonical timeline that's going to happen is that, you know, there is this battle, but essentially he is going to get some of the stuff. We have the Angala word for it. It starts with an N. Naichabi?
That sounds Najebe, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Anyway, but he's going to get it and basically use it to be like, well, okay, if this did this to us, what's it going to do to everybody? And the result, by the way, is that
Terror?
with both birds and reptiles, it simply makes them slightly smaller. So like they're now like 97% the size that they once were, to the point where it's just like, huh, is that different? You know, again, just for fun. And then for fish, it kind of makes them bigger and like more succulent, essentially. But the insects, it kind of makes them a lot bigger, but not necessarily smarter. And so now they're just these huge predators, and this is why the animals are going to have to bind together to like fight them off. And so yeah, the insects are a thing in this.
And I love Magpie's suggestion, by the way, to make the base form or the flying version a dragonfly. It's large. It's got wings. It's
Ooh.
You know, fun looking. I do love dragonflies. But like I could definitely see the shape and the overall size of them being used as a comparative base for the cockroach. So I like that.
Well, what do you like better for dragonfly? Mbarra or mbarnda?
The first one. We have the trilled R's?
No, we don't. Remember? Oh, that sound change that I wanted to introduce.
Sound change. Yes. What was it? It was
specifically when RR comes next to each other.
And wasn't it also about the ndra? Like we were going to do something.
Let me see what happens in Lexergy real quick when that occurs.
It was in a poll because you had said this is going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, I did.
Did we make that happen?
the R. Oh, I'm sorry. R becomes L after N. So that's fine. Um,
I feel like
but
we already did
but
that.
yeah, R. I said something about R because I
Because you didn't want
I
trills.
didn't want trills. Was it going to become Mbadla or Mbarda? Mbadra? I feel like the first one was going to become a D.
You said this to me as I was walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
I remember the exact thing I was doing as you were saying this to me. But I don't remember. All I remember calling down was, oh, so you don't have trills in the language.
Yeah.
But what was the rest of the context, David? What was the actual solution? Was it degemination? Was it a shift?
Shoot. I know it involved D. Like something was going to turn into D.
Then I would prefer the first R to become a D.
I feel like that's what was going to happen.
Right, Jonathan? It's so helpful to remember that I was carrying things up the stairs, shouting things back in response,
Um,
and don't remember what was
I'm looking
actually
back
said.
at season 8, poll 7.
I like the DR though. So Mara becoming Madra.
Mbadra or Mbadra.
Well, but I'm saying like the concept.
Yeah.
RRA is going to become
Yeah.
DRA.
Um, yeah, it says no, we're adding a sound change. R goes to L after N.
Which we did.
Which we did.
Yeah, that's in there. And I think that was all we had formally done, unless
I think it was D. I think it was D. And so let's add that somewhere. Post-nasal shiftiness would be around there.
I don't want to add it till you're ready for me to remove everything that you've done that you may want in the system, because when I update it, it affects you out of necessity.
No, understood. And so this will be rhotic dissimilation.
It was when you were working on the romanization. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Because yes, and
Yeah.
here it's like it's pronounced like a Spanish pero, and you had said, I don't want a trill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we need to do something. So that's when it was. That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
While you were working while I was prancing about the house without a care in the world.
Mm-hmm. All right, I've added it after postnasal shiftiness, just rhotic dissimilation, very simple. R goes to D before R. Get it? RDRR.
Not your best. Not your best work.
It's a throwback to an old Simpsons joke. All right, so yes. Yes. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, there absolutely is a wiki that David hosts and works on to update, and also has other people who work
Yeah.
on it to fill
Yeah.
things out. Sometimes very well, sometimes things that have to go back and be adjusted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wiki.
And the LangTime languages are on there, and I want them to have a really nice, strong presence there. However, and this, it always comes with reservations, either asking people to work on the wiki or recommending to them as a resource. It is perilously slow.
Yeah.
And that is something that is on my agenda for the new year. I need to talk to DreamHost again and figure out what is going to what is behind this slowness? Because, like, for example, if you load the main page and you go to Cloudflare, which is a thing, and you see like what's taking so much time, and they're like loading the very first image, which is a small image, should load in seconds,
Yeah.
should load in less than a second, but it's hanging up for like 5, 6, 7 minutes sometimes trying to load this, and it's like that there's some deeper issue. Veronica Hamilton had a suggestion that it might be that the places where things are hosted are not physically close to one another, and to have a discussion with them and see if this could be fixed. I don't know. Anyway, if the wiki is running perfectly, it is the perfect resource, and I love it. But anyway, we'll see. And like, there are ways that I can, pay more to get more stuff. But if it's not a problem that money can solve, then I don't want to throw money at it.
And that is a question that, as of yet, has not been adequately answered.
Yes.
That it will be solved by the additional purchase of X, which, I mean, the additional purchase of X would have happened by now if it were.
Yeah. So, but that is on my schedule. I'm going to figure that out. Okay. So, this is what I'm going to do for right now. Just below this, since we haven't done this, because we need very specific nouns. Are we still? Yeah, we're still in pages. We need very specific nouns to fill out this little chart.
Yeah.
But we need to actually write down these protoforms that we're inventing. So, bar is going to be insect of some kind. And then, since we don't need it, badra, I think that's it. It's going to be dragonfly. Badra, yeah, okay. Badra is dragonfly. Okay, all low tone. Okay, we got that. But yeah, even though there's a change in the base, there isn't a change in the ending, so that we don't need to add that to the list. What was Jake's suggestion? I don't know if it's going to get us any forms that we don't already have, but I wanted to throw it in.
I think, roughly the same as mine, but with an adjective K at the beginning.
Okay. Then it's probably not going to produce anything new that we need, but I'm going to throw it in.
Could also change it to an I to see if that, like, ear, just to see if that gets. As a reminder, you can just type K.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, nothing new there. Let's try a U, see what happens. No difference. So yeah, no, because if there was going to be a difference, it would have been a tonal difference, but I don't see one, so no dice there. Okay.
What happens if you take the final consonant off?
Oh, you get totally different forms.
Right, but isn't that what we want?
Well, I mean, you get like long vowels and stuff. We needed them on there to shorten things up. But like, for example, it doesn't actually shift stress, which it shouldn't. That was the reason with the spaces. If we got rid of the spaces, then there would be changes. But the reason we introduced the spaces is specifically so it wouldn't shift stress to a word that was supposed to just be a modifier.
Okay, but like I'm confused because the output for an R at the end had long vowels.
Yes.
And you were fine with that. But without the R at the end, also long vowels, and you're not fine with it.
What R at the end? You mean an
Like
H?
Kur. The form you were testing, it just had R-A long vowel, but like it
Yes.
was Kur.
Yeah, and so that part didn't change. The root didn't change. It's still kur.
Okay, so now take the R off of that. And what was your problem with it?
We're not removing the R. We would be removing the H where the glottal stop.
Which one is the root that we're creating right now?
Oh, you're talking about doing a different root?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was.
Like, why would I change the noun classes?
I had no idea what you were talking about. My bad.
I was trying to see if intervocalically we got something different, and this could be a root we work with.
Yeah. Hey, there's koala.
Well, there we go. We gotta have a. Is it koala or koala?
Yeah, but we actually don't need that one. We do need the one above. Kuhie. So that's
But we
an
could
H.
create a koala because we like it.
Yes.
And then just have that in our repertoire for later.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let's work with this, David.
All right. Okay, so then la. You know what I'm going to do so I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth? I'm going to grab these and I'm going to put them up here.
I was actually just thinking I'm going to write it in my notebook because
Yeah.
writing it helps me remember.
Okay, so we need flying and small. So original root of ku plus flying and small. And that will give us kuola and kuhie, which are two delightful words.
And E is small. Okay.
Also, Mateus, I see your comment, and it's really hard for me to want to try to recommend what I did with the wiki, knowing all the problems that I have with it. Like all it is just I have DreamHost hosting, and I installed MediaWiki on it, and then just tinkered with it and modified it and learned the system until I produced something that was just essentially like Wiktionary. And I copied a lot of stuff directly from Wiktionary in terms of how it functions and works, and just pasted it on in there. And just kept doing stuff till it worked. Thankfully, I had Veronica Hamilton there to help with some of the nuts and bolts and behind the scenes stuff, and then a lot of people to expand it. But it's like, yeah, I'm already to the point where I'm paying $25 a month to keep it up, in addition to everything that I already had with my DreamHost account. And I am potentially looking at paying even more for, again, something that barely functions. So I don't know if what I have done is something you want to copy necessarily. But if you do, and you happen to figure out like, oh, all you need to do is this, and it works great, I don't know, maybe that would be good for me.
Okay, David, the root is rock, small is pebble, flying is hail.
Oh, hoo, 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 hoo. My. Where's Madeline? So then let's just put this in there as hail. It's H-A-L-E, right?
I-L.
It's H-A-I-L? Mm-hmm. But when you hail somebody, it's also H-A-I-L, right?
Hail is H-A-L-E, is like hearty in hail.
Yeah, I know. Like it's very underutilized. So why don't they? I don't know. Lousy English. Okay, and now kuhie, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a cute little pebble.
Yeah. And then for just regular rock, are you interested in the ground prefix suffix for that?
What does that come out as?
Walking. It would be kuhie.
Actually, that would be kind of.
Kuhie.
I think it would be nice to have that mean rock, and then we could use the base form to mean like stone, as in the material.
Oh.
So like a stone wall.
Oh, you mean turn it into an adjective?
Yeah.
Because
Like we did with cloud.
yeah, the other thing I was thinking was just reduplicating it to get rock, which would end up being ku, and would be irregular. But I like your idea as well. The only thing is I have no memory about how we turned it into an adjective. And also, this doesn't end with a consonant.
Okay. Okay.
But let's not throw it out because of that. What that
Just take a note and say it's an idea, and we can figure this out later.
Base form to adjective equals made of stone. And then kuhie. Okay.
Okay, so we can't get MEM as a root in this language, so we can do MIM, which will also give us a potential modifier that we're actually working with when we want to go test forms. But MIM could be a root, so we need another nasal to get the click ending, I believe. So MIM plus the chie or chi.
I believe this is also going to be a weak vowel, right? Because,
yes.
No, well, we already did. We did tsun is a weak vowel as well.
Yeah.
So we need one with a strong vowel to see if there's any difference. But let's first do this right here. I'm actually just going to copy this and just do a strong vowel so real quick so we can see if there's any difference. There's no difference.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no difference whatsoever. So, okay, that's easy. Okay, so yeah, with meme we get minla, and mimie, the click, mimie, and miningla. So yeah, mimie.
These are some really good words.
Is would be our new one, and that's going to be low. And that is long. Okay. What is your thought for this word?
Want something like, I was thinking of something soft and comforting, trying to play around with ideas of whether it's like grass or fallen leaves or just something that's like you can make a little nest out of.
Me.
Maybe soft isn't the right, but comforting.
Yeah. Do bats make nests? They don't make nests, do they?
I don't, but they would see other people making nests. And so it would definitely be something that they would, I guess it could be like a little twig.
Yeah, it could also it could be grass, and then maybe like the base form adjective would be like furry.
Oh, that would be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Okay. And maybe the base word could be fur. Base form adjective equals furry.
Actually, the base form is fur.
Mm-hmm.
In the flying or sky class, it could be a feather because it's the covering of what they see on other flying creatures.
Minla, feather.
And that's like a really
Delightful
pretty.
word. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. I know that there's more endings than this. I think what we need to look at is other consonants.
All right. So we did nasals, we did R's. I think the only. I'm seeing a difference in the vowels leading up to the endings. And I don't think that would count as part of the suffix, though, by way of like this reanalysis that you're a la noun, and we don't care whether you're an iela or an uola noun.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the final vowel matters as much because we're only looking at the strict ending. Based on that, we have the chie, we have the click ie. The click is the X, right? Not the C. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's the click you have?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Marie,
Change this. There we go.
Matra. Oh, I do need to make a note. I'm going to change Lexergy after the stream. Okay.
But yeah, I see what you're saying here, that the things that we would analyze as the endings themselves aren't actually changing.
And so I think we have them. Do we? Because we have for the night class, we have RA low tone and LA low tone and the high tone. Do we have examples of all those in your list?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw some other consonants in
Yeah,
there
go for it.
to see if we ever get anything different. So just any old. Do we get? It's just EA. Okay, that's that. Yeah, it's just that. Can you remind me of the proto-consonants we have? We know that nasals and R do something. What else we got?
So we have pre-nasalized voice stops, MDG.
Okay, did that.
We've got voiceless stop ejectives, which are the TK, and then we also have the glottal stop.
Glottal stop. Let's try glottal stop. No.
Okay. We also have an H.
Oh, wait, we don't do that. H.
Okay. We have, I don't know, we have the prenasalized DZ, so I don't know if that would play a role. I think I saw you try the TS.
I did. I'm going to try DZ now.
And then KX is the other one. I don't know if that would make a difference, especially coming next to a KX.
Yeah, we'll try that. But I'm also seeing something that we should probably take care of. So mozra, that's fine, but mozkie is not. I don't know, like it's a Z followed by a K
At the very least, it should devoice.
at the very least, yeah. I am going to throw TS in there. No, Masra. Masra.
Okay. Are you okay with maskie?
Maskie. 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 I don't know. All right.
I was asking if you're okay with it.
I
'Cause
know.
if you are,
I know.
well, if you are, we'll just devoice the Z when it comes before it. Done
Yeah.
and done.
Yeah.
In terms of how it feels in your mouth,
Maskie.
does it feel like it's something you could get used to? And like this is something as a speaker, like it's just something you do.
Maskie. 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 I'm not ejecting these, right? Maskie, because I'm trying not to. Maskie. But it's got to be a, so maskie instead of that, maskie. Yeah, maskie. Maskie.
What happens if you take the K out?
Maskie.
Does that feel better? Should we lose the K?
Maskie. Maskie. Don't know. Maskie. 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 Maskie.
Follow-up question. Does
Yeah.
it feel good to slightly bring the S back to like a mashkie? Does that help at all to like
Maskie.
get your tongue?
Maskie. I mean, I love it, but masra. Masra.
I mean, it would just be a
Mashkie.
phonemic
Mashkie.
thing. It would not be something
Yeah, I
that you
know.
would see outside of this context. It's just like make it easier to pronounce.
Maskie. 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 Is there anything else like a? Yeah.
Making it a strong H. The other thing would be to kind of like get it in the same voicing and make it a whole bunch of
Yeah. Well, what about you, Jess? So, like, let's assume, because I actually kind of like it. Mahkie. Mahkie. Oh, God. I just put an H there, and you get
The
the
H
kie
stays.
too.
Yeah.
Mahkie.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, and yeah, Kobe is asking, what about a geminate, which I think was another direction I was wondering was what happens if we
Mahkie.
get rid of the K.
Mahkie.
Maschie is fine, but then like machie would end up just being a geminate. Machie.
Mahkie. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is what I think we need to do. Kh simplifies to kh after a fricative. Then assimilation applies. Or basically something. So machie becomes machie, right? Machie, it just becomes a geminate. And then maschie, I think sounds pretty good.
Okay, then S goes to esh
And
when it's before an X
and before that, Z goes to
S.
S before anything voiceless. Z goes to S before anything voiceless, because I don't know if that's going to also be an issue for. Yeah, it's already an issue. So like if you have a protoform like munsta, it comes out as ZT. So yeah, that
Got it.
Z should go to T. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Wow. And we already have a way to, something that eliminates geminates. So this would need to happen after this. which I'm fine with, by the way. I'm totally fine with this.
To have this as like the only kind of geminant that you would get is the
Yeah.
class. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put it like round glottal consonant annihilation because that feels like the place where this should happen. First thing that happens is spirant devoicing. C plus continuant goes to minus voice. For consonant, that is minus voice. Let me, but now that I've thought about that, let me check something else. Okay, yeah, it's not a concern for when it comes after it because there's the whole ngza thing in it, so that's fine. Essentially, the fricative Z devoices to S before anything voiceless. Okay, that's one. Next, since we're dealing with spirants here anyway, spirant. No, I guess this is more kind of like a kind of an assimilation. So C plus continuant goes to minus anterior before C plus velar, I think we want to say.
Yes, but before that, we need the K to drop out when it's smashed between two fricatives.
No, that could happen after, can't it?
Yeah, because the K is velar.
Yeah.
You're right, David.
All right, cool. Okay, the fricative S becomes sh before a velar consonant. And now we get...
Do we want, and that before,
yeah.
because we do have this which is velar. And we're going to get S's before
Do we?
Is like a vowel.
Mosgna. Ooh.
Mosgna.
Hold on. Like both yes and no? Hold on. Shoot. Okay. Oh boy. Oh my God. This is potentially. Oh my God. I don't know. It's kind of a small but odd little poll we could do. Essentially asking like, because I like this, and we have to expand this. Becomes sh and ja before a velar consonant. And the reason why is because you can get a protoform like mats nga. And
Exactly.
also mans nga. And they become, before these sound changes, masnga and mazna. And we're going to change them to mashnga and majna.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing that Jesse pointed out is with our ngda stuff, so far we're getting matsngda and mazngda.
Yes.
And the question before us, do we want to keep that or do we want to change it to machngda and majngda?
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer to that. So I can see it treating syllabic nasals as kind of like
Its own thing.
placeless. But you could also say it's velar, it's happening.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay, so that'll be the poll. But then I do want to get the very last sound change in here, which is, so we got affricate simplification. C minus continuant goes to nothing. In between C plus continuant and C plus continuant. This kills affricates after fricatives, turning them into fricatives. And the final sound change
will be the H.
Yes. And this will be glottal gemination. I guess we call it velar gemination, so, or something like that. Basically, C plus glottal becomes plus velar before C plus velar plus continuant.
And I'm going to go ahead and enter what we've got here. So that way it's in as a base. And then after the poll, we may have to, revisit just ordering or how rules are written for the velar shift. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in like this into Lexergy just so that way it's there and we can work with it next week.
You want to know something funny?
What?
You spell an affricate and a geminate ch the exact same way.
I mean, how they're produced, it sounds kind of the same, I'm going to be honest. Machie. Like, it's whether it's strong. And you could spell it KHH for the geminate fricative.
I think that we're going to add to the sound change 22. I think we're just going to kill it everywhere. And
I think it will be clear in other ways, but, David wants to kill it.
Yeah.
I think KHH could work. David doesn't think so.
No, I don't. Oh, Irwindale.
Oh, that's you, not me.
So help me. Oh, and it's not. It's Norwalk. Sorry. My bad. Okay. Velar gemination. Okay. Otherwise, the goes to plus continuant before.
For people asking, I don't know why David's fine with KKH and not KHH. I don't know.
That's not how you geminate it. So, like, if it's sh, right? The geminate way to spell it is SSH, not SHH.
Why not? Like, to me, it's more of an H than an S, so why not have the H doubled?
No. Fricatives and turns other instances of these affricates into geminate velar fricatives. Done. So now this is going to become glottal assimilation. Okay, there we go. Now that makes me happier. And that awful k is now gone forever. That makes me happier too.
Wait, what?
What?
K is now h
Everywhere.
for now and forevermore. You just changed the whole language.
Yes, I did.
What a way to do a mic drop as we're 4 minutes late and got it in the stream. Here comes David.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I mean, I don't mind. It's going to come out pretty much the same from my mouth anyway. So
I see what you're writing, Jake. I don't like it.
am going to now go to Lexergy and start putting things in. So David better be ready.
Yeah.
Save whatever you want to save, because here I go.
Yep.
And I won't be paying attention to what happens beyond this because I'm in Lexergy zone.
Yep. And the poll this week is going to be the micro sound change about whether we are going to do this sadasha thing before syllabic
Yeah.
velar nasals or not, since this is an environment, oddly enough, that is going to occur a lot. All right. So, everybody, please stay in grammar while we are gone, and we will see you next Thursday.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye.